So, hello and welcome to another Vision Channel session about our intelligent camera system Ideas Next. Today we will look at tasks from the retail sector and in which we make the camera work as a code reader, a color sensor and availability checker in one device. The use cases are only examples and should only demonstrate the operation and implementation of the functions available for this purpose. If you have any questions during or after the session, just post it in the Q&A or the chat module. I will try to answer them after the session or pass it to my colleagues if necessary. So let's start. So boxes like these can be found in many companies as they can be used for a large number of different purposes. Whether this is for pure storage of small parts or to support workflows where, for example, unprocessed products are delivered or finished products get forwarded, perhaps sorted into several quality classes. There is nothing magical about these boxes, and so many of their use cases also are only possible through human interaction. Are they empty or full, like here with vegetables in it, or on the other side we have highlighters in it, or perhaps it must also be ensured that empty boxes are cleaned or checked before they are used again. With the help of intelligent cameras like this IDS Next Rio, such tasks can be supported by image processing so that in the best case, the human being is freed from many unpleasant manual tasks and you still remain informed. So let's take a look at a few possibilities for this. You may be asking, how can a camera help in workflows with boxes like this? Well, by having them to check exactly the stuff you'd normally have to do yourself. Identify the boxes with the code here on the box, check the fill level, verify the status of their workflow using labels and text. And now, even the IDS Next camera is an intelligent camera with built-in AI accelerator and can do image analysis using neural networks. Today, we are using image processing functions of the camera that do not use AI for this purpose. These are, for example, functions like reading codes and texts and recognizing image segments using simple blob analysis. And as always with IDS Next, you do not need any prior knowledge of image processing or camera programming to use these functions. And you therefore don't need to set up a development environment for programming. All we need today for this example is the IDS Next cockpit, and a web browser, and of course, the camera. However, while we don't need a CNN training, we still go to work in the cloud in our AI Vision Studio, IDS Lighthouse. For what reason? Yeah, we are getting to this into this now. The benefit of IDS Lighthouse lies not only in training neural networks, but also in creating image processing sequences and evaluating them purely with image data until they work as expected. In other words, the development of the entire result extraction can be done here without hardware, purely with the images of the application. For this, I now grab images of the box with my camera, as I would like to check it later in the real application. I use a camera stand and let the camera look in the box from above so that I can see all the information that I need. So the barcode on the boxes and also the content in the box. I grab images with the IDS Next cockpit and its crawler function. So I logged in, and before doing the grab,
I adjust the image parameters to my objects and lighting so that everything is clearly visible. The crawler saves the captured images on my PC in a folder structure that I determine before. Depending on what you have in mind, it makes sense here to store the various image information in special named folders. This would support the necessary labeling of the images for possible later AI training. Since I want to do several analysis on the same image view later, I just save all the images from different situations in one folder, so images of empty, filled and special marked boxes. Next, I switch from the cockpit into the cloud to IDS Lighthouse to import all of my local stored images and use it to create a dataset that I can then use to test and evaluate my image processing. For that, I logged in with my Lighthouse account, switched to the datasets and pressed the plus button to create a new set and name it box use case. In the next tab, image data, I'm able to choose the complete folder with all the images I've taken before, upload them with a single click. That runs very fast, so it's done. And now I have a new data set with all my pictures taken before in the IDS Next cockpit.
So let's proceed with the first image processing task. Since I always want to know which box it is in my later application, I have to identify it via the barcode on the box. And exactly for this goal, I now create a Vision app and build it with the integrated block-based editor in IDS Lighthouse, which provides me with all camera functionalities as combinable blocks so that I can bring them into my desired workflow.
The ability to read different types of codes with IDS Next is shown by this simple multi-code reader demo application. The process of this app is quickly explained or created. The important image analysis consists of just one function block. The code reader instance used in it you can easily configure yourself under objects. For this, it is helpful to use images of a dataset as camera, which shows the codes that you want to read later. In the code reader section, you then just have to select the desired code types from the list, or even easier, you just let it detect automatically based on the codes in the image. To show you how this app works with real images later, let's look at the running process executed on the camera.
Next, in my use case, I would like to have the camera check if there are objects in the box. As an example, I'm working here with this vegetable that I would like to detect. In addition to the possibility of doing something like this with an object detection and a trained CNN, which is AI based, there is now another function, the blob analysis, with which objects or image segments can be identified via the pixel values in the individual image channels. Oh, I'll take it. So let's do it.
To test the blob analysis for my setup, I created another Vision app in Lighthouse. In the block-based editor, I have already prepared the different function calls or blocks. As camera images, I use already a dataset. Here I prepared one with images from vegetables. To find related regions, I use the saturation here due to the colored objects in my images, where I search for pixels values between 60 and 100%. In the block info window, I can check the saturation of the pixels by moving the mouse over the image. With the next block, I use a filter to show only regions that have a certain pixel size. This helps to minimize noise. The last two blocks are only used to display the found results in the camera image. So as we have done this, we can run the application and evaluate the process in the debugger window. On the purple outline, you can see the results of the blob analysis for each of the images. It seems that this runs already pretty good with the given parameters. To test also this process with real images, we create also this Vision app. And for later execution on the camera, this app then only needs to be downloaded and installed via the IDS Next cockpit.
In a third Vision app, we will take a look at the new OCR function that I want to use in my later application. The following workflow demonstrates how such words on a piece of paper can be read as status labels for my box use case. And in this short example, I will write them into the camera image as results.
In IDS Lighthouse, I prepared already the Vision app text reader to demonstrate you the OCR functionality. After initializing some variables for the workflow, I add the main function to read text in the image and configured it to read English words. And the next great block here is only a logical decision to draw the result, the found words, in the image. To define the position of the result text, I can configure an arrow by drag and drop in the block info. And finally, I draw the results into the image. As for the other apps, I used also here a prepared dataset with some texts. And when we have done all this, then we can also here start the workflow in the cloud, image-based, and check the workflow here in the debugger and step through it image by image. And you can see all words are detected and in the green text written in the result image.
So now that we can apply these three essential functions for our box use case and have tested them individually with application images, I'll bring them now together in a common workflow. First, the box is to be recognized and identified by using the barcode. Then it should be checked whether the box is currently in use. That is, if there are objects in the box at the moment. And in case we have an empty box, we want to check if it has been checked or cleaned before putting new objects into it. And for this purpose, I use the status labels and the OCR function.
The block code for the entire box checker app may look a bit extensive at first, but much of it are just functions with logical decisions or serve for display purposes. Our three basic functions are built into the workflow as subroutines. Without going into the final code here, I would like to show you the whole process now executed on the camera. For that, I already downloaded and installed the app. As long as no code is detected, the app shows us no box in the result highlights. You can also see here the status of the basic functions, blob analysis and the code reader, if a box is present. I now activate the show workflow state with the OCR function, which is then also visible in the result highlights. The text label now shows us the status of the box in the workflow.
Yeah, as you can see, even without AI support with just a few basic functions, it is also possible to create useful image processing sequences. The three basic camera functions shown can of course also be combined very easily with AI-based features in IDS Lighthouse. And with the block-based editor, you can also test your plans simply and quickly. So if you are interested in testing the IDS Next system yourself, you are welcome to do this in IDS Lighthouse as part of the free trial month with your own application images. And if you also need a suitable camera, please have a look at our IDS Next Creative Kit. With this starter packet, you get everything you need to implement your ideas and try them out live. If you now have any questions about IDS Next, you can ask us via the chat or the Q&A module. The channel is still open for a while to answer your questions. Of course, you can contact us at any time, also after the session. So if we can help you with your projects. Then I'll say goodbye until our next session in our Vision channel. We will report live from the Automatica in München, where we will present our new developments for the smart use of 2D, 3D and our intelligent cameras under the trade show motto, "We make machine vision simple." Get inspired for your next machine vision projects during the virtual tour over our booth. So have a nice day.